Let's be honest, building HR in a startup is hard. Building HR in a scale up is chaos. But building HR from scratch in a group of companies, that is a whole different beast. It's less like assembling furniture and more like designing a skyscraper while managing the traffic of five different cities below. You aren't dealing with one culture, you are dealing with a portfolio of them. One subsidiary might be a chaotic, high growth tech startup that runs on passion and pizza. Another might be a legacy manufacturing firm that runs on precision and procedure. Your job is to build a system that serves both without breaking either. This is a complex but transformative journey. It requires the patience of an archaeologist, the precision of an architect, and the empathy of a diplomat. But when you get it right, you don't just create an HR department. You build the engine that turns a collection of companies into a unified, unstoppable enterprise. Here is your blueprint. 100% of Fortune 100 companies have a dedicated HR team. Let that statistic from Bambor's 2023 report sink in. It's not just a number, it's a confession. It tells us that even the most resource rich organizations on the planet have decided that people operations are non negotiable. But here is the kicker, building HR for a single company is hard. Doing it for a group of companies, a sprawling ecosystem of different brands, conflicting cultures, and separate legal entities, is a different sport entirely. Is the difference between assembling a jet mid flight and being asked to design the entire fleet while simultaneously coordination for five different airports. The complexity doesn't just multiply, it exponentiates. You aren't just managing people, you are managing the gravitational pull between entire universes. Building HR in a group is a balancing act. You need standardization for compliance and unity, while keeping each subsidiary's unique culture. Done right, you fuel growth and innovation. Done wrong, you create bureaucracy. Whether you are a holding company, standardizing disparate acquisitions, or a conglomerate formalizing people operations, here is your blueprint for building a strategic, high impact HR department from the ground up. Let's discuss the phase one, laying the geological strata, the foundation. Before you hire a single recruiter or write a policy, you must understand the landscape. In a group of companies, you are not dealing with one culture, you are dealing with several. Rushing to standardize without diagnosis is the fastest way to spark rebellion. So, for laying the foundation, the first step is conduct a group wide HR audit. There are steps to be followed. You cannot fix what you do not measure. Begin with a comprehensive audit of all existing entities. Identify the current state. What formal and informal HR processes already exist? You might find one subsidiary with a rockstar payroll system and another with nothing but spreadsheets. Then, map the legal landscape. A group often operates across different regions or countries. Compliance isn't one dimensional. You must understand the local labor laws, tax implications, and reporting requirements for each entity to mitigate risk. You can read all about the framework in the mentioned article given in the description box. After mapping the legal landscape, the next step is to spot the data graveyards. In group structures, information is often trapped in silos. Look for the information islands where data is duplicated, outdated, or lost. One company might use spreadsheets for leave, another uses a legacy system, and a third relies on paper. This chaos is your biggest threat to data integrity. We have covered the step by step process till now of the step P&E, which is conducting the HR audit. Now let's discuss the step 2 of phase first, which is define the group philosophy, the spectrum of control. Under define the group philosophy, the spectrum of control is the system. This is the most critical strategic decision. Where does your group fall on the spectrum between centralization and decentralization? Let's understand the centralized model. The centralized model is where all major HR decisions, strategy, branding, leadership development come from the group HQ. This is efficient and ensures a uniform culture but can stifle agility. Now, just for the information, let's discuss the decentralized mode. The decentralized mode is when each operating company runs its own HR. This is flexible but creates redundancies and makes it impossible to move talent across the group. If you want more useful videos, please subscribe and comment below if you wish us to make more useful videos. After discussing the centralized and decentralized model, let's understand the center of excellence hub and spoke model. Think of the center of excellence or hub and spoke model as the perfect middle ground for a growing company. It's like having a central command center that gives each team the freedom to roam. In this setup, the hub group HR acts as the strategic brain, setting the overall game plan for things like employer branding, the core HR technology, and company wide compliance to ensure everyone's playing by the same rules. Then each spoke, the individual companies or teams, takes that strategy and runs with it, handling the day to day on the ground tasks like recruiting new talent and managing employee relationships in a way that fits their unique culture and needs. It's the best of both worlds, a unified direction with the flexibility to adapt locally. We discussed everything about the phase 1. Now let's discuss the phase 2. Building the core infrastructure, the skeleton. You cannot fix what you do not measure. Begin with a comprehensive audit of all existing entities. With the strategy set, it is time to build the shared services that will hold the group together. The goal here is efficiency and visibility. The opening step of phase 2 is strategic and non negotiable. Prioritize the HR tech stack and eliminate spreadsheet dependency for good. Hawkeye Group, nearly 3,000 employees strong, learned this the hard way. Their outdated system dragged them into endless parallel manual processes, triggering a full blown paper avalanche and a data validation meltdown. For a group of companies, a unified HRIS isn't a luxury, it's survival. It's non negotiable. Consolidate your data because without a single source of truth, you're flying blind. A cloud based HR platform gives the entire group real time visibility into global headcount turnover and talent distribution while still empowering every subsidiary with the autonomy to manage their own local data. This is how you move from scattered spreadsheets to strategic clarity. Automate the basics because no organization can scale on manual chaos. Leave request, payroll sync, expense approvals, every one of these must move from paper trails to digital flows. And for a remote workforce, like Hawkeye security offices, mobile access isn't a feature. It's the lifeline that stops critical forms from disappearing into the lost in transit black hole. Democratize data because power belongs in the hands of the people who make decisions every day. Managers across the group should have instant access to live dashboards, not wait in email queues. When a project needs a specialist, they shouldn't be chasing HR for answers. They should be able to scan the entire group's talent pool in seconds and deploy the right person right away. The next step is to establish a unified but flexible policy framework. Policies are more than just rules, they're the shared playbook that helps everyone work smarter, smoother, and in sync. But in a group of diverse companies, one thing is clear: a single playbook rarely works for every team. Lotte Group, the Korean powerhouse, demonstrates this brilliantly. When they transitioned to a job based HR system, they didn't impose a rigid one size fits all model. Instead, they allowed each affiliate to adapt, tailor, and refine the design to suit its own strategy, culture, and business needs. That flexibility didn't weaken the policy, it strengthened it. Because when people can shape a framework to fit their world, they're far more likely to embrace it. Create minimum standards. Start by defining the essentials, the non negotiable rules that protect people and the organization. These form your core foundation: code of conduct, anti harassment, and data privacy. Clear minimum standards set the tone, strengthen trust, and keep everyone aligned. Provide templates. Create templates for performance reviews, offer letters, and handbooks that subsidiaries can adapt to their local context. If you wish to get the templates, comment template, and the team will share the link with you. Pilot before scaling. Just like Lotte, begin with a newly established affiliate where resistance and legacy habits are minimal. Use this space as your testing ground, refine the model, fix the kinks, and build a success story. Once it's proven and polished, then roll it out confidently to the larger, more traditional companies. Let's come to the phase three. The strategic pillars, the muscle. This is where real transformation takes shape. After laying the foundation and testing what works, phase three is all about building strength. The core structures that give your HR framework power, stability, and long term impact. These pillars don't just support the system, they elevate it, turning strategy into action and intention into measurable results. Now you move from administration to value creation. This is where HR transforms from a cost center to a strategic partner. Let's discuss about the talent acquisition, building a group-wide employer brand. You are not just hiring for one company, you are hiring for a portfolio. Candidates should see the value in joining the group, not just a specific subsidiary. Internal mobility is king career. In a group, the career path is exponential. An employee stuck in a stagnant division can move to a high growth one within the same group. Build a talent marketplace that encourages this. Lacoste PCL focused heavily on this, promoting internally and creating learning journeys to upskill raw talent into leaders. Synergistic recruitment. Share candidate pools. If one company rejects a candidate because they are too creative for a finance role, they might be perfect for the marketing subsidiary. Let's discuss about the performance management and development. This pillar aligns people with purpose. Clear goals, continuous feedback, and focused development help employees grow while driving stronger organizational results. It's a simple equation. When people know what's expected and are supported to improve, performance rises, and so does potential. The HR must implement the cross functional projects. Give high potential employees the chance to work on initiatives across different companies. This not only sparks innovation but also breaks down silos, strengthens collaboration, and builds a broader organizational mindset. The HR leaders must have leadership pipelines. That means identify future leaders and rotate them through different subsidiaries to give them a group perspective. This is how you build leaders who understand the entire business ecosystem. Learning paths. Let's understand this. Just like Lacoste PCL, you can strengthen employee development by teaming up with external consultants or universities. These partners help you build clear, structured learning journeys, not random training sessions. Each path is tied directly to your core competencies, so every course or workshop builds the exact skills your organization needs to grow. Let's discuss the total rewards, the art of equity. Compensation is a potential minefield in a group. A software engineer in a tech subsidiary might command a higher salary than a logistics manager in a distribution arm. If these two people sit next to each other at a group wide town hall, you need to be able to explain the logic. Benchmark by role, not by entity. Use market data for the job, for example, software developer, rather than just the internal hierarchy of the company. This ensures you remain competitive. Transparent structures. Let's understand this. Building clear pay scales doesn't mean everyone earns the same. It means everyone knows how pay is determined. When employees understand the criteria, the ranges, and the logic behind compensation, trust goes up and confusion goes down. Transparency gives people clarity, not equality. And that clarity is what makes the system fair and credible. Let's discuss the phase 4, culture and cohesion, the heart. The greatest challenge of a group of companies is the us versus them mentality. We're the creative agency and they're the boring corporate HQ. The first step under this phase is employee relations and the culture club. You cannot dictate culture from an ivory tower. You have to cultivate it. When Lacoste PCL formed its joint venture, they didn't just write a mission statement. They created a culture club with representatives from each department. These sessions directly shape their brand values and focus on well being. Create cross company councils, bring together employees from different subsidiaries to work on group wide initiatives. Standardize the experience, not the personality. Ensure that the processes like requesting leave or enrolling in benefits are seamless and consistent, but allow the personality of each brand to shine through. The next is to harmonizing processes for a better experience. Campari Group realized that fragmented procedures were compromising efficiency and creating vastly different employee experiences depending on the region. By creating a one stop shop mere portal with a user friendly interface, they streamlined processes and boosted satisfaction. Within a short time, 80% of employees accessed the portal and satisfaction scores hit 4.4/5. The takeaway: when you cut complexity for employees, you free them up to focus on the business. The roadmap, a phased approach. You cannot build this in a day. Dora Harsh Suri, an HRpreneur, suggests a logical order. Start with the basics: talent acquisition, ops, compliance, then build the scaffolding: performance, engagement, and only then move to the complex architecture: L and D, talent management, C and B. For a group of companies, this phased approach is even more critical. Phase 0 to 6 months, the firewall. Fix compliance, consolidate payroll, select the HRIS, and standardize the employee data dictionary. 6 to 18 months, the foundation. Roll out the core HRIS to all entities. Implement a consistent performance management process and a group wide recruitment framework. 18 to 36 months. The strategy: launch group wide leadership programs, implement advanced talent analytics, and build the internal talent marketplace. Conclusion: building HR from scratch in a group of companies is not about creating bureaucracy, it is about creating synergy. It is about ensuring that 1 plus 1 equals 3. It requires the patience of an archaeologist to understand the existing layers, the precision of an architect to design the structure, and the empathy of a diplomat to unite different cultures. By focusing first on unified data, then on flexible processes, and finally on strategic talent mobility, you can build an HR function that doesn't just serve the businesses, it connects them. When done right, employees stop seeing themselves as working for a subsidiary and start seeing themselves as part of a larger, more powerful collective. And that is when the real magic happens.